Hey guys, welcome back to my channel and back to another edition of The Crazy. So as you saw from the title and the thumbnail, today we're going to be talking about this really weird craze that's happening right now within the trans community, particularly with trans identifying men, that is biological men who identify as women, who seem to be obsessed with cosplaying as women, so much so that they believe in their delusional minds that they can get their periods, that the menstrual cycle is available to their male bodies as well. Not only that, but they put it on full display online. Don't believe me? Let's watch some videos together, analyze, discuss, and try to make sense of the crazy. But before we do, I need some energy. Okay, I'm ready for the crazy. All right, in this first video, this individual is at Disneyland or Disney World and so upset because the menstrual cycle has come. Here we go.
People want to say that I don't experience PMS symptoms.
You don't.
But I've been cramping incredibly bad all day, and at some point my pain tolerance went away and it started hurting incredibly bad for the last 2 hours. So much so that it made me go and throw up 3 times. So yeah, PMS symptoms are ruining my Disney trip. Ruining my Disney trip.
Damn you, PMS. Damn you. Once again, woman, it's your fault. Look at what you've done to this trans-identifying man. Damn you, ladies. Oh, but it gets better. Let's watch some more videos that I found online, shall we? Okay, so this one, this is pretty funny. So this is of a trans-identifying man, another one, who isn't talking about periods, but they are talking about how they interpret biological men who do not want to date other biological men who identify as women. I'll give you one guess what they call biological men who refuse to date biological men. Let's watch and find out.
You refuse to date transgender folks. Is that transphobic?
No.
I'm talking about people who say they accept trans people as their gender, who date people of that gender, but won't date them. Like, if you won't date someone from Mars because they're space aliens and you're afraid they're going to lay eggs in your torso, that's one thing. But if you say that someone born on Mars is a human, but refuse to date that person, well, that's something else. Now, preference is wanting Evian bottled water over Dasani. But if you were thirsty, you would drink either one. Please, for the love of God, don't tell me you would refuse either one of those two over the other.
This one, oh. You know, people like this individual, they really get on my last nerves. And let me tell you why. Just because somebody accepts how you view yourself, i.e., sure, you want to go by female? Okay, I'll call you a female. Just because they are accepting of your dysphoria doesn't mean that they are now obligated to be romantically involved with you if you want that to happen. See, just because you view yourself as a different sex than what you actually were born as doesn't change the fact that biologically you still are the sex that you were born as. I know, it's shocking. So, expecting a straight biological male to want to date and have sex with another biological male who happens to see himself as a she is not going to change the fact that to that straight biological male, he would be laying down with another biological male. Pre or post-op surgery, it doesn't matter. See, a biological male who doesn't mind sleeping with transgendered people of the same sex, well, that will put him in the category of LGBT. Whether you like it or not, it would. Because technically, he is still sleeping with a biological male. Now, I know that upsets you. I know that bothers you. My advice, find a safe corner, a safe space, try it out, and then move on. But what you can't do is you cannot shame people because they do not want to have sex with you. Can't do that. And you also can't put these ridiculous labels like transphobic on biological straight men who do not want to date other biological men. Can't do that. Now again, you have dysphoria, but that biological straight male does not. So expecting him to want to sleep with another man to affirm your view of yourself is not fair to that man. Now, are there men that are out there that would do that, who don't mind sleeping with transgendered women? Sure, they're not straight. Again, not a hard concept. But I understand that for a lot of transgendered people, they get upset about this because they want so badly not to be in a different category. They want to be biological women. They want to cosplay as biological women, and nobody can tell them different. And when biology and science comes into play, it becomes a problem. And suddenly you become transphobic because you actually are following the laws of science, which is why you do not want to sleep with someone of the same sex, regardless of how they view themselves. I think it's incredibly selfish, self-serving, and completely delusional to expect other people to want to sleep with you to affirm your dysphoria, which is a disorder. Not gonna happen. So just FYI for all of the cisgender men out there, no. You are not transphobic if you do not want to sleep with other men. No matter how hard they try to push that narrative, it's never going to fly. Just ain't. Let's move on to the next video. All right, so here we have Punky Brewster, who is trying to convey back to periods that biological men like himself can actually get their periods and that you don't need a uterus. Even though the whole concept of the menstrual cycle is based on a woman's uterus and the lining of the uterus. But according to Punky Brewster here, doesn't matter. Let's watch.
Okay, I've literally done hundreds more hours of research into this than you have.
Okay.
But let's read your comments anyway. It's literally common sense that not having a uterus means no period. LMAO.
Yeah.
Enough of that. Okay. So, let's go over a couple of the facts here.
Okay.
Does everyone who have a uterus have a period? No. Does everyone who have a period have a uterus? Also no. When it reaches a certain level in the body, then you can still get the cramping, the bloating, the emotional sensitivity, and the emotional instability when that time of the month comes around. Thinking of the menstrual flow, the shedding of the inner uterine lining that may require some sort of cleanup like a Dixie cup. You don't know anything.
So I like how this person literally just talked in circles and didn't actually make any sense. Never actually came to a point other than affirm my feelings. Does every person that have a uterus get their period? For the most part, yes. Now, there are some abnormalities, as we know, right? But again, those are abnormalities. That's not normal. Most women, 99% of the population, is going to go through the menstrual cycle if they have a uterus and they have all of the parts of a woman inside of them. That's how it works. And it's kind of funny listening to these individuals explain that, well, I have cramping. So I'm getting my period. I got cramping. You have cramping because you are on hormones that your body is not supposed to be on because you are a man. If a man takes an overuse of estrogen and other hormones that are not meant for his body, yes, your body is going to have an adverse effect to the medication that you're taking, which is why you're getting cramping and bloating. It's because you're messing with your hormones. That's why. It's not because you magically are not getting your period, because you now magically are a woman. No, sorry. It's not how it works. I mean, it's such a slap in the face to biological women to try and cosplay a menstrual cycle as if you have any idea what that feels like for actual biological women. And the fact that this person's like, oh, so, you know, only difference is I don't need a Dixie cup or a tampon. It's the delusion for me. It's the delusion for me. And isn't it crazy how biological women are expected to just step aside and let these biological men say their piece about a process that only biological women will ever understand and go through? Because of society, you gotta be quiet and let him talk. All right, let's move on to another video.
Estrogen like 3-4 months now, and I am now 3 for 3 months getting PMS. For me, it's been like notable mood swings, also some clinical sadness.
You mean depression?
Disability comorbids. I get really fatigued and just feel like, oh, what's the point? Where am I? And then I realized, like, oh, I'm on my period. That feels kind of nice. Dysphoria is a weird bitch.
No, you're not on your period. You're on hormones that your body is not supposed to be on. And your body is having an adverse effect to those hormones. That's what's going on. Ta-da! You don't need to cosplay by going to CVS and getting some tampons. It's not gonna work for you, so just stop. And for God's sakes, leave the kitty out of it. I feel bad for biological women having to live in a society where people like this are taking something that is so personal for biological women and exploiting it to affirm their disorder. Think about how messed up that is. And the fact that if you do what I'm doing, which is call it out, I'm a transphobe and I'm a hateful person and I'm just evil for talking about biology in all its glory. Like, it's just welcome to backwards land. Again, if you take hormones that are not meant for your body Yes, your body is going to have effects, negative effects to those hormones. That's how it works. That's how it works. It's like they're shocked that their body is having an effect on the medication that they're taking. And instead of actually calling it out and saying, oh, my body's being affected by these hormones that I shouldn't be taking, but I'm taking anyway. Instead, their dysphoria says, I got my period. I'm a woman now. Tampon, please. And we'll also say, oh my God, congratulations. No, I'm not going to co-sign the crazy. Not gonna do it. All right, we got one more video. And again, it's of a trans-identifying man going through his period and talking about the need for chocolate and emotions when the period comes. Because we all love stereotypes. Let's watch.
So, one of my partners took me to Walgreens to get some ibuprofen for PMS symptoms.
Hormone symptoms.
And I said I don't want anything sweet because my migraines are pretty bad and eating sweet things tends to make them a little bit worse. But they went and got us both Kit Kats anyways because when I'm PMSing, I cry when I eat chocolate. So, yeah, it tastes pretty good. Tastes pretty damn good to make me cry.
What this person is trying to display is a stereotype. You guys remember when Dylan Mulvaney first came out with the Days of Girlhood? And the very first video that they made was pretty much a really bad impression of every bad stereotype that people have of females. If you don't remember, this is what the first video was. And you tell me if this is a parody or an actual experience.
Day one.
Yeah, it's looking like a parody to me. And that's the common theme that I see from all of these videos from these trans-identifying men who want so badly to co-opt the female experience that they are going to take every stereotype and just mesh it all to one and then use it as their own. Because in their perspective and in their minds, that is what being a woman is. It's stereotypes. Like eating chocolate and crying every month. Wow. Yeah, it's just, these videos crack me up because what I see is people who want so badly to be affirmed, that they're willing to co-opt an experience that they know their bodies will never experience. Not gonna happen. I mean, it would be like a trans-identifying female, a biological woman, going to the doctor and saying, hey doc, I'm turning 40 and I would like to get my prostate examined, please. You don't have a prostate. You're not a man. That's transphobic. Yeah, that's the world we're living in, where we give biological men tampons and say, have a nice day. Because if you don't do that, you're transphobic. I tell you what, find a safe space, okay? And drop your tears here. Shout out to my sister who got me this for my birthday last month. I freaking love it. Liberal tears. Here. If you guys enjoy my content, please do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Don't forget to hit the notification bell so you know when I post a brand new video. I'm also available on TikTok and on Instagram under CurlyBoyChuck, where I'm continuously being canceled for videos like this every single day, and I don't care. Until next time, peace.